welcome to Xavia Fox Talks, and of course, I am your host, Xavia Fox.
XYZ. And I hate being wrong, and I'll mess around like, I was right. Slam the door, whatever, and then 10 minutes later.
Are you able to do that to her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Look how he asked.
Oh, yeah. But for the record, I'm usually one that's wrong. It's wrong. It's not necessarily right or wrong, it's just, she makes me think about it in a different way.
I think it's, for me, it's that support factor. It's that woman making you feel like you on top of the world, like making you feel like. And I tell women this, that your relationship with a man is really going to be determined by how you make him feel.
Yes.
If you can make him feel like $1 million, and there are a lot of different ways that women can do that. That is probably the one most important thing for a man. Like when you look at. You look at a lot of, prominent couples. Like, let's take Barack and Michelle for an example. When Barack obviously was in law school and he, I guess, first pursued Michelle, she didn't really see a lot in him. But I remember in an interview her saying that she saw a lot of potential in him early on. So now that he, obviously he's the president of the United States, he succeeded at a high level. Over during that time period, I'm pretty sure she edged him on, so she supported him, and she was always in that corner. And I think all men want a really, really strong, confident woman, a smart woman in that corner that when he's out there doing his thing, that he's in the back of his mind, he's like, I got my woman at home, I got my baby at home, she's taking care of business, I ain't got to worry about that, we a team. And so, when we talk about what do we need women for, sex, that's a given.
That's a given.
That's a given.
That's why I said it first.
Yeah,
it's just
you can get that regardless whether you're in a relationship or not. But having somebody,
but that costs more.
you gotta pay. You do gotta. Well, some brothers gotta pay. I ain't gotta pay. But
just come over to the house, huh?
I'm just saying. I'm not gonna put my
It's a ding, big brother.
I'm not gonna put my trade secrets out there, but just having a woman that's in your corner and somebody that can be supportive.
I 100% agree. I think the most important thing for any man is support. I think that, and I talked about this during the last session we were here, that about the role of a man and a woman and how submission is powerful. That is the essence of what submission is actually really about. It's propping a man up with your love, your affection, and care for him, and letting him know that he is the man.
Right.
And I promise you, probably more relationships fail when a woman chooses to either tear that down or they don't do that.
And that goes back to roles. I was talking about roles, and speaking to subservience, being a servant to him, and like you said, propping him up.
Being
his cheerleader.
But that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I think the man wants me for the woman to be his greatest fan.
Yes.
That person that you made it with, or you choose to be that companion, you want her to be your biggest fan. You don't want to have another fan out there that's a bigger fan, because then that causes a problem.
You don't want another fan out there.
I got a cheerleader over there, and you not cheering, and you not saying what the that's a problem.
That's a huge. I think that women don't understand this. They don't understand this at all. Is that there are women out there that are willing to be your cheerleader too. And you really need to be a cheerleader at home, and it just can't be something that women talk about being romanced and taken out and still being treated that way. You have to continue to support your man, and you have to continue to you have to be constantly revisit that. Okay, this is not working for me. How do I do something different to show my man that I support him?
So even after the relationship, even after you all have got into the relationship, maintaining that, and not saying, okay, yeah, I got him now, I can fall off of what I'm doing, what I was doing. So all the dressing nice, all the doing everything to to make yourself look good, all that stuff still comes.
Obviously.
Oh yeah.
You can't. You can't be in a position where I'm not saying this so you can't question the man's judgment or his decision making. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying that you have to be able to encourage that man.
Right.
And there may be some guys that may not necessarily be as successful as other men. There are things that you can do to help that man out or whatever have you. Or there may be things to be able to say that's going to pour into him. Listen, honey, okay, let's pray together. Let's do whatever it is that you need as a woman to make that man feel special.
I need you to cook. I don't know how to cook, so I need you. Some of the most wonderful, amazing women I know how to get down in the kitchen, and that's just like.
Well, you know, most chefs are men, so you know.
Oh, is that
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I guess I must have missed the boat on that one.
No, I mean,
so it sounds like you need someone to teach.
You gonna come in, you gonna cook.
Well, you know,
for me,
I think what we need a woman for most. Pretty much you covered everything. When I was thinking about it, as you all kind of were talking, and just trying to really digress, what do we really need a woman for? Obviously, besides the obvious reasons. I mean, and James Brown popped in my head. This is a man's world. Mm-hmm. Gonna be with nothing without a woman's touch.
Right.
You know, so I think that everything we do, you know, regardless of what realm it is in, you know, you have a woman's hand on it. You know, and you know, not to go too far back, but you know, even back in the history times, slavery times, you know, you had sisters that always, you know, if they was in the house, you know, they was grinding up glass, putting in the dude's food, or you know, listening close and finding a way to be supportive, which has been talked about. But I think that for every success, for every, you know, I was, you know, watching, I don't know if any of you all caught the Freedom Riders the other night.
Yeah, that was awesome.
You know, and, you know, I remember just seeing one of the girls, she said, I knew I had to be on the bus, and I was 11 years old. And I was just thinking, like, that's how our 11-year-olds were thinking back then. Mm-hmm. You know, our 11-year-olds ain't thinking about the struggle now, mm-hmm. you know, but just to see that, you know, they were willing to fight and to see the sisters there. You know, they've always been there throughout time, and I think that, you know, it's almost not even recognize the parts that they played. Sometimes for, you know, a man to get where he gets to, it's because of the part that the woman played. You know, when you mentioned President Obama and Michelle, you know, while he was doing this before the senator and all that, where was she? You know, make sure the girls were taken care of and, you know, having his back.
Right.
You know, you feel that you can accomplish anything when you know you got a rock behind you.
Right.
You know, and I think that sometimes we don't let them know that they are that rock. Mm-hmm. You know, and so again, it comes back to that communication to let a woman know you are that rock. You know, you're the reason I am the type of man that I am and why I push so hard. So, you know, I think that, you know, a woman, I mean, I don't want to just generalize it, but when we say, you know, what do we need them for? And to be perfectly honest, we need them for everything. Mm-hmm. You know, to nurture, to give, to support, and if we go into war, to be on our side to fight the battle with us. Mm-hmm. Right. You know, I mean, I don't think that any of us at this table could think of anything that we do, especially if you're in a relationship, that you wouldn't need that or want that woman's support.
Right.
Whatever it is. When a brother gets locked up, hey, it's a woman that's usually sending him letters or putting some money on his books because the guy ain't going to do anything. You know, if you're in the military, she's sending money down, just taking care of the business, handling the house. You know, even when, you know, a brother's down, you know, a good woman would generally, baby, don't worry about it. We'll get through this. I'm going to pray. Because generally, you always say that the woman of the family is going to be the one that does the praying in the family, generally, most of the time. You know, you obviously, you know, depends. But I just think that we utilize and we depend on women so much that sometimes we take certain things for granted. Right. You know, and that's the parts that I think that when you were saying that sometimes we need them to say sorry, sometimes we got like, baby, you don't even know what you do for me. You know, I don't want you to think I'm taking you for granted. And that's the part that you need to vocalize and verbalize and let them understand that, hey, the role that you play in this relationship is everything to me. You know, I might not say it all the time, but I'm saying it now. Mm-hmm. And I try to say it at least once a month so I can reinforce that, you know. Right. So when I thought about it, I generally had to honestly say that, to me, we need women for everything.
That's good.
Wow.
I can't come behind that.
That's good.
Wow.
I do want to point out though in this conversation that women need to take note that nothing from a negative standpoint or perspective was said about women, and that we are having a real conversation coming from the heart as men about what we require from women. What they need
some negative. Y'all got some issues. Y'all even some of y'all crazy. But we just
in respect to this last question that was just asked.
What he said though is the best advice for anyone. Yeah. Because if she's playing that role, that's how I end up getting married. That's how I ended up getting married. Everything you said, my wife has done.
That's it.
And made me sit down and say,
everything.
Well, I can't fast this.
What am I doing?
Right.
Over here, I need to be
I need to be right over there.
And for somebody to do like what you said, to notice that, usually you have to find out. Well, one time you went to somebody and you went to try to see if the grass was green on the side and you saw it wasn't. Because generally, you don't appreciate what you got till it's gone. So you have to have that happen one time in your life for you to be like, okay, I got one good, but I ain't about to mess this one up. Mm-hmm. You know, and like I said, when you have something like that, you know it. You know that woman. You know that woman that got your back.
I be at fundraisers and at different elected officials' homes, and they calling me the next day, hey man, that woman you was with.
And that's it.
And if they tell you the opposite, then that's not a good thing.
Yeah, but they will say all supportive type of stuff, you know.
That's powerful.
Everybody else picking that up.
That's a good indicator.
And what did you say earlier when you were talking about the pastor? You said, "Pastor, you don't worry about it. What they talking about with the church? When they say my wife and all that stuff, that's when I feel like, ooh, okay." And so when somebody be like, "Hey man, your wife," that's your ego. That's my girl, you know.
Yeah,
that's it.
Well, I guess that kind of wraps up our segment of Brothers of the Round Table. They did a really great job of sharing with us. I hope that everyone enjoyed what they had to say. I'm going to give them a round of applause from everybody because that was excellent.
Hope we get a live audience next time. That'll be fun.
And we are contemplating taking this discussion live. So if you would like to be part of that studio audience, it will be a all-women audience, and there's no ganging up on the guys.
We can handle it.
Yeah, I see.
Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this segment of Xavia Fox Talks. So, see you later. Thank you.
I was like, who's that?
Came in the window.
See y'all.
Hi, baby. You afraid of thunder?
Foxy, I see you.
This girl, this Fox, thinks she gon' eat our loaded yam, the whole thing, but that ain't going on. Jimmy Jam gon' smash it. With my guest, Xavia Fox from Xavia Fox Talks.
And you can tell everybody what you want to be called by.
Xavia Fox here, still on the red carpet, represents
X.